Okay, we have Sue in next.
Oh boy.
Oof, the champagne is just in there. It's in there.
Well, thank you for being here, Sue. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And yeah, we got a lot of questions, so we'll try to get through some of them. And start off with a question from Erica. Go ahead, Erica.
Thanks, Sue, and congrats, of course, to you and Seattle. I do want to ask you about being one of the last two teams. I mean, especially given that players like Stewie, who we just heard from, but also Angel McCautry were very vocal coming into the Wubble about social injustice. And now you're the last two teams standing. What's your message about being able to carry that platform throughout the season?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, being the last two teams standing, we're probably just the last two who can continue to kind of have this moment, right? Like a mic in front of our faces, to be on live TV, and to be able to have that platform. And so as the last two teams, we definitely wanted to just continue the message, continue to say her name, continue to make sure that Black Lives Matter. Obviously, everybody knows why we came here. I think we did, looking back, an incredible job of being activists, of organizing, of really, I mean, I was going to say like push the needle. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but it's sometimes hard. I said this the other day, it's sometimes hard to know the impact you're having, but there's been moments where we've actually been able to see it. And I'm just so proud of this league, these players. It's been amazing. So, you know, in some ways, just an honor to be part of the last two teams standing, and an honor to continue the message, to continue to spread the message that we started. I mean, what's today? When did we get here? June, July. Thank you. What we started July 6th. So that's all it's been. That's what it means.
Thanks, Sue. Next one here from Jeff Brown. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sue, congratulations on winning another championship.
Thank you.
Just talk to me, like in 2014 and 2015, those were kind of some down years, but it resulted in you guys drafting Jewel Lloyd and Brianna Stewart. Just talk about their performances in this finals. I thought they were even better than in 2018.
Yeah, I think they were, to be honest. You know, I've always said it. It's when your physical ability starts to peak at the same time as your like experience and your, you know, mentality surrounding the game. That's when the special games and the special moments and the special seasons really start to show themselves. And with Stewie and Jewel, their talent is really insane. I mean, when you think about it, the things they can do on the basketball court, they're the next generation. I mean, they're the now generation, but they're also the next generation for, you know, the next 5, 10, 15, who knows how many years. So now what you're seeing is that talent, like I said, start to peak with their experience and their mentality on how they approach things. You know, they don't make the mistakes they made 2 years ago. They're way more prepared from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint than they were 2 years ago. So it's kind of scary when you think about it, because they're still so young.
Thanks, Sue. Next question here from Percy Allen. Go ahead, Percy.
Hey there, Sue Burke. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, to kind of go with that, I remember that we talked before the postseason, and I kind of asked you that same deal. And, you know, is this team the best team that you've ever been on? In the moment, you know, obviously I get it. You didn't want to answer it because you were in the moment.
Yeah.
As now, I mean, obviously the season just ended, but is this the best team that you've been on? And can you answer the dynasty question now? Are you guys got something special going on here?
It's honestly, it's hard to answer both questions. I think you're really putting me in a tough spot with that first question. It's not really fair, but the one thing I'll say is, given the elite level of Stewie and Jewel, and given their age, yeah, I mean, this team, and it's not just them. That's the other part. This is definitely, I think, one of the deepest teams by far, one of the deepest Storm teams I've ever been on. Yeah, you're putting me in a really tough spot there, Percy. I'm not sure you're going to get one out of me on this one. And as far as the dynasty goes, I think Minnesota set that mark high. They're a team that their core group won 4 in like however many years, 6-7 years. So we might have some work to do to get up there, but I mean, not many teams have won. I think Phoenix has been a team that's won twice in 3 years. So we're close, but not quite there.
Thanks, Sue. Next one here from, Michelle. Go ahead, Michelle.
Congratulations, Sue. I'm going to get you to say something nice about yourself here. Those other teams, Houston, and I'm going to try. Let's put it that way. Houston and Minnesota had a core group, as you say. Both of them did. The only common denominator for Seattle's 4 championships is you. And that's over a long period of time. Is that the thing maybe when you finally look back on your career that you'll have the most pride in, is that longevity and to be able to win with different people?
Yeah. I was actually asked a question maybe about a year ago, and it was kind of along the same lines, but it was more so like, what's something, it's very similar, but it's like, what's something that people wouldn't think of that you're proud of, right? Because it's easy to say winning and Olympic gold medals and championships and all that stuff. But I think the fact that I've been able to do it in different decades with the same franchise, not many people can say that, and to your point, there are core groups that have, anywhere from a 2 to 4 to 6 to maybe a 10-year, right? Like run. But I've been here for, technically 19 seasons, 17 that I've played. And to kind of be able to recreate that magic with different groups, 2 obviously were with Lauren, so we were kind of the core, and then 2 now have been with Stewie and Jewel, again, a core, and you can throw AC in there as well. To recreate it over time, to stay at a high level over time is definitely something I'm proud of, because it hasn't been easy. These last, I had surgery like May of 2019. So it's been a little over a year, and it's been hard. This is the one time I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been hard. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. And, I think when the hardest part about being an older player is when there's that down physically, you start to question, whether you can do it anymore. You start to question why you're doing it. You start to question if it's worth it, because it's, it can be hard. But this is when I have to give credit to like my circle, I guess, whether it's someone like Megan, someone like Susan Borchard and beyond, who have always just helped me kind of get through those down moments. Because it's not like you lose, you don't lose belief. You still believe in yourself. You know what you're capable of doing. It's just, is your body going to let you do it? So, I don't even know. I'm ranting, but I think the point is the fact that I'm sitting here, I think I'm having this like in shock moment, because it doesn't really feel real that we just won and that I was able to contribute in the way that I did. But it is 100% something that when it's all said and done, I will be incredibly proud of. That from 2002 to 2020, I was able to win 4 times with the same franchise.
Thanks, Sue. I think we're gonna wrap with you now and go to Jewel. So thank you so much for being here, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Round 2. Round 3, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so sorry, I don't remember who's asked a question yet. So if you already asked Sue a question, can you just not raise your hand so we can get through people who want to ask her questions who haven't yet? Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you for coming back, Sue. We're gonna take a question from Howard.
Hi, Sue. Congratulations. I just want to talk a little bit bigger picture terms, and you'll forgive me for throwing some numbers out in this question, as I typically do to you. You've now won 4 WNBA championships. Rebecca Brunson's won 5. Nobody's won 6. I just wonder if that's something that you think is within reach. You spoke about how difficult this was physically this year, but obviously in terms of your play on the court, it's been as good as ever. And then I just have a follow-up after that.
You mean like individually, right? Not
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely not thinking about it right now. If you're asking if it's doable for me personally, I do, when I said it was hard to be on the court, it was just the getting there. Not once I got there. I mean, even in training camp, before the bone bruise stuff, I felt good. I finally had turned a corner, which was nice. It's still a lot to stay at that level, in the off season. So it would be a challenge, not to say I wouldn't be up for it, but as I've always said, I'm kind of on those 1-year plans and I just take it as it comes. I can't get too ahead because then you have expectations for yourself and sometimes your body lets you down. So you just got to take it 1 year at a time and see what happens.
Understood. If I could ask you to look ahead then for Stewie.
Yeah.
It feels as if sometimes she doesn't get, let's say, the credit that a lot of other players get because she doesn't have game-winning shots. She tends to win these championship games, in this case by 33. That was what she did in college year after year. Do you think that ends up underrating her, number one? And number two, do you think 6 championships for her, for her group is in reach?
I do, because, you would probably know better than me and you could probably research this better than I could, but I don't know of any players of Stewie's caliber. So we're talking like MVP caliber player, not just all-star, like MVP. And there is a difference, who have won 2 times in their first 4 years or 5 years, I guess now technically, 4. So I don't know many players that had a start like that. And I think when it comes to records, whether it's individually, like statistic wise, or winning championships, even with like the Olympic team, if you can get there early, then you have a chance of them adding up as you go. So Stewie is definitely on track, 100%. And if people are underrating or under appreciating Stewie based on no close games in finals, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I can't even compute it. What does it even mean?
Thanks, Sue. Next question here from Jim Cable. Go ahead, Jim. Okay, we're just going to go to the next one, and from Brendan Clean. Go ahead, Brendan.
Congrats, Sue. You guys didn't lose in these playoffs. I'm just curious, you had the chemistry advantage over a lot of the rosters in the league this year. Is that what you would attribute it to? Is it reaching kind of another level as a group? That's a pretty remarkable thing to have happen. What do you make of it?
Yeah, that's definitely a reality. We had our full roster. We knew that from the beginning that I guess we had a leg up on a lot of teams. Just from that standpoint, we were really lucky. I think we all talked about that early, just being very lucky that we had our full roster. With that, this still was a very challenging season with a lot of ups and downs, living in a wobble, being away. So, like every team, we had our moments for sure. And I think I said this after the semis, something that wasn't really talked about much was that both Stewie and I going into the semifinals hadn't played in like a week and a half or so, maybe even 2 weeks. And then same for AC, who tweaked her ankle in that last regular season game. So I understand what the results were, and I understand on paper it'll look like we sweeped, 2 very good teams in the semis and the finals. But we were still this, interestingly enough, we were still this work in progress as we were going. I think, to be honest, game 1 and then game 2.
This is just crazy.
Oh, here she comes.
Are you done or no?
No.
Why?
They're asking questions. This is when Stewie.
Haley. Haley.
Just goes.
One more.
Yeah, one more.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. If anyone saw Stewie at the parade last year, she's approaching that. Anyways, so yeah, I think game 1 and game 2 of the semis, we played against a team that was peaking, and we had to figure some things out because we were kind of the opposite of peaking, but we did. And, that's what championship teams do. They find ways. that's why my face looked the way it did when AC hit that game winner in game 1, because I knew where we were as a team. But from there, we definitely started to get better and better, and we're able to just roll.
Thanks, Sue. Next one here from Doug Feinberg.
Hey, Stu, thanks for coming back for us. I'll ask the question, though. There are people beating around the bush of it. You say you're on one-year plans. When are you going to decide if next year is the one-year plan, you'll be back to defend this title and potentially play in the Olympics again?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, it's never like this day of decision. I think I just kind of start working out and I see how I feel. It's not, I wish I could give you more, and I'm not trying to be elusive. Like, listen, if the way I feel right now, if I can go through my off season and continue to build on that in a good way, I don't see why I won't be playing next summer. So I'm not trying to be like elusive, but as I've always said, like, things happen. That's what the last 2 years taught me. Anything can happen. So I'm just like, cautiously optimistic, I guess.
Thanks, Sue. I know Stewie said one more, but I am going to have to give you a couple more here. First one from Kevin Pelton.
Hey, congrats, Sue. Because of, not knowing necessarily what the future holds, when you win these championships, you've had a lot of experience doing it, but is there more of a sense of appreciating it, being in the moment as as your career continues?
Absolutely. It's not even just being in the moment. It's understanding that you need to capture the moment. I think when you're younger, you talk about being in the moment. You don't really know what that means. But as an older player, I fully understand. And, listen, out there, it's weird. There's no fans. So the excitement level is kind of, and then just because of the way the game ended with the score, it was kind of this, we didn't really know how to react. And so I think for me right now, it's almost surreal / shock. I feel like it's all going to hit me a little bit later. Cause even, I'll be honest, even today preparing for the game, thinking about it, I was getting a little emotional at the thought of potentially winning. So I have a feeling it's going to hit later. And, for me as an older player, I think it's coming out more like emotional than excitement.
Thanks, Sue.
No problem.
I am getting a couple requests to finish up now. So let's see. Let's just wrap now. Thank you for coming back, Sue. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys.
And congratulations. And I'm sorry to the people we couldn't get to.